Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Welcome back with me, Fauzia Reihanil. Now I'm going to explain to you about the use of poetry in ELT, and also I also explain about the teaching activities by using poetry in ELT. So before coming to the teaching activities, let we discuss about the use of poem in ELT. So the first one is it can introduce or practice new vocabulary, language structure, and also rhyming device. Because from poem we can get many vocabulary that it means it may be new for our students, so it can building a new vocabulary for the students. And the second is shorter poems often give a chance to explore an idea while working with a more manageable amount of the text than a short story essay. So by using poem in ELT, it can give chance to the students to explore their idea, to write about their thinking. And the next is it can encourage creative thinking poetry, because it is a form of expression. And then by writing, it can let us get out our feelings and thoughts on an object. While reading, it can also encourage us to connect and find meaning in our experience. So the students can using their creative thinking to show their expression, and then encourage them to connect with their experience through this poem. So that's why by using poem in ELT, it's very interesting. And the next is we will discuss about poem and poetry. So what is the difference between poem and poetry? So let me discuss. The first is poem. Poem is almost the same with poetry. It's just the form of the presentation in regular and bound lines. Rhymes emphasize the harmony of the sounds of the language and the equivalence of the sound me but it's hot. For the example, I have a pen, my pen is blue. I have my friend, and my friend is you. So from this example, we can conclude that poem is have the relation between the first line with the second line, while poetry is written up from the contains language with artistic qualities and has deep meaning. Poetry can be outpouring of someone's heart and written in beautiful word to approach. For example, in this slide, even as the sun with purple color face had thin its last leaf of the weeping morn. So from this example, we can see about the beautiful word to make this poetry. So we can conclude that poem is have relation with one first line to the second line, while poetry is aesthetic word and has deep meaning. And then let we discuss about the teaching activities by using poem in ELT. So there are 3 steps. The first is opening activities that include greeting the students, pray together, checking the attendance, and explain the topic today and also the learning objective. So that's about the opening activities. And then The second activities we call by main activities. We use genre-based approach to apply this method. So the first, in main activities, we use BKOF, MOT, GCOT, and also ICOT. So after this, we will discuss about it. And then the third activities, or the third stage, is about closing activities like usual. So in closing activities, the teacher gives some feedbacks, conclusion, asking students' feeling, and give homework, and also close the lesson. So today we will discuss about the main activities. Start from BKOF. So in BKOF, we as the teacher will give the students a short poem, and then we ask the students to find the vehicle of word in this poem. So you can see the example of poem in this slide with the title Reminder. And in BKOF, we can also building the knowledge of the students about the text. We can use the question like, what do you think about this poem, my students? Can you see the title? And what do you think about this poem? How many lines in the poem? And please find the difficult vocabulary that you found in this example. And we ask our students to find the difficult word, and it can help their new vocabulary. And then in MOT, the teacher gives an example of a new poem, and the teacher reading aloud the text, and then the teacher asks the students to imitate the style of the sentence that the teacher said, and after that the teacher discuss about the example. Okay, let me see the example. So this example is the example poem that written by Pak Mora. And in MOT, we can use the activities like, okay, my students, when I read aloud this example, you can imitate, you can make some style like when my aunt died, and we ask our students to imitate the style when my aunt died. Maybe the students try to show their expression, what look the people, what happened will when the people died, like close the eyes and etc. This is the very interesting way to make the students participate in the classroom. And after we ask about after the students imitate the style, we discuss about the example, like we ask, what is the title of the poem, my students? Okay, good. About old love. And do you know the meaning of the text? And how many stanzas? And also how many lines of the text? And then after our students giving their argument or their ideas, we ask the teacher state that we give some analysis of the poem. That this poem with the title Old Love is a poem told from the perspective of niece talking about how it felt when her uncle lost the love of his life. That's her aunt. And this poem, my students, use a lot of poetic device in each stanzas. It can more use similes, like my uncle raised his hand like a prophet in the Bible, and singing like a tree along the night. So we can do some analysis with our students that related to generic structure, about some maybe what which we should analyze with our student, like the purpose of the poem and etc. And then in the COT, the teacher divide the students into some groups, and then the teacher asks the students to create short poem with their group, and after the students finish about the short poem, the teacher asks the students to perform with their group by using role play to perform their poem in front of the class. So we can use this technique to make the class is more harm, because the students, all of the students could participate in this class. And in ICOT, the teacher asks the students to back to their seat, and the teacher asks the students to create one stanzas. You know, one stanzas, it can maybe in 4 lines, and the students can create short poem by individually, and the students in the end can perform their short poem by their own sentences, by using a picture to help their express about their poem. Okay, my everyone, so I think that's all about my explanation about the use of poetry poem in ELT, and also about the teaching activities that we can use in our class later on. So I hope this presentation can give some benefit or can give some advantages. So I'm sorry if I have some mistake. So I will close this presentation by Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.